welcome to episode 12 of the Joint Operations Podcast. I'm your host, Brady J. Sadler.
I'm your host, Adam Sadler.
And today we're talking about snow.
And it's raining outside.
Yeah, not really, because, it has been snowing, which is nice. It's like, usually in Indiana, it's like wet and cold until like the mid-January, February time. When we were younger, we got snow occasionally, but we've had a lot of snow this year.
I was like, this year has been pretty wintry. Just on Friday, driving home from work, or no, Thursday, driving home from work, it was snowing out.
That's why this episode is a snow-themed episode, because I've been enjoying the snowy weather, but not really, because I've really been getting out. I usually take walks during the day and listen to my audiobooks, and I haven't been able to, but that means I've been painting more. So let's talk about what we've been up to, because it's been a week. And we're actually on time this week. I've heard you got out of the house a little bit recently.
Ooh, cat's tearing up your chair.
Knock it off.
What was that? That was my first week. First week at the new job.
Yeah, I think the last episode was recorded before you started, I think.
Which it's a hybrid role, so it's like 3 days a week in the office right now. Which is, it's not horrible, but I've been working remotely for like a decade, and it's a kind of a shock to go to an office again and kind of just sit there during work hours. Strange, because I'm used to it. Remote work is great because I'm more productive at home, but I can also you're not working every second of the day, so it's like I can go and get up and throw a load of laundry in or something between meetings or between work or whatever, and just do random house things, get some stuff done. I can mow the lawn during lunch, things like that. So I like remote work, so it's nice that I can still do some remote work. But going to the office 3 days a week has been an adjustment. But luckily, the job's great so far. Like the company, like who I work with, things are going well. So not much to complain about.
You have income. You have a salary.
I have a paycheck, which is really nice. I am not sitting around applying for jobs all day, being depressed. So I would say overall, quite the improvement.
And you've exceeded your 2.5 minute allotment.
Exceeded.
No, and then
I saw you were distracted watching the cats chase each other.
He gets freaked out when company comes over and he has to show off. I've been working remotely. I've been working from home, and
I don't remember asking what you were doing.
I had a couple days off actually because I didn't feel like working the whole week. So because I've been, like I mentioned last episode, I've been trying to do this push for the next Relic Myers book, Relic Myers in the Harmony of Hexes, and I'm on about 60% of my progress. I'm about 60% done with the book. I still haven't figured out what it's about yet. That's the problem. I got to figure out that plot, But no, and honestly,
you don't need that.
Yeah, honestly, it's like I didn't set out with anything. Like sometimes I outline things ahead of time, but this time I just started without even thinking about it. It's like I'm gonna see what comes naturally, because usually the stories will tell themselves to you as you write them, and this has been.
But this one hasn't.
This one has. It's crazy. It wasn't planned, but it's like I think it's better than the first book, which is a stretch because the first book's like the only book I've written where I've actually read repeatedly just for enjoyment and listen to the audiobook. So I'm excited to see how it turns out. Hopefully I can stay on track and finish it by the end of the year, because it's going to need a lot of revising, I'm sure. That's pretty much all I've been doing, is just writing every day. I've been working out a ton. I've lost like 15 pounds doing this freaking crazy workout routine, which is not that crazy. It's just because I haven't been working out all the year. It's been weird.
Stop saying that. We play pickleball daily in the summer.
But that's not exercise. It's fun. It's a fun game. Dude, it's good. It's good movement.
Wore me out.
Well, it's better than nothing. But like I was gaining weight the whole time too, so I had to do something. But
I ate terribly yesterday. I had donuts and pizza and chicken tenders.
We should just do a podcast about what we had for dinner last night, because we could probably. I think it's like
we could fill 10 minutes of that. I'm sure there's more skilled food podcasts out there.
I have a question though. We don't get a lot of listener questions, so I wrote some questions down.
That's the end of the episode, I thought.
I know, but this is not a listener question. When you're at the office, because you're at an office now, do you have any funny water cooler stories? Do you hear anything funny happen at work? Is
not
it boring?
Yet. Not yet.
So you can't write an episode of a podcast on. It's just
I don't know if anybody at my work listens to the podcast. I mean, I don't think they would, but
I haven't signed an NDA.
usually if it's a funny thing, it'd probably be embarrassing for somebody.
That's true.
I'm trying to think. I mean, the office is under construction right now, so it's kind of a weird situation. Like I'm starting when the office is kind of getting renovated or whatever. So it's weird transition. It's also like, you know, it's not like a normal everyday environment at the office right now. So I'll see what it's like when it actually calms down, and maybe within the new year things will be all settled.
The waiting for waiting for the Brutal and Cunning box has been making this last week pretty anxious, which I think maybe helps with my staying on my schedule, distract myself with my book and everything. But I think we should expect shipping sometime this week, right? Like,
It depends. Sometimes they wait until release day to ship. Sometimes they start shipping like a few days early, which is nice. I have no idea what to expect for this one, but I would say it'll ship by Saturday at the latest.
by this coming, like that's
The release. They're the release day is Saturday.
There's some online stores that were selling it, and people are posting it on the Facebook
But-
Kill Team group, and just jealous.
But that's I'm fine with that because this coming week is like, you know, just work like normal. But I have the week after that, which is the week of Christmas, off, and so it'd be nice if it delivers around that time, so I can kind of spend some time assembling Killzone Volcus.
I don't have that off. I have some. I have like the Thursday, Friday after Christmas off, so it's something. But
Close enough.
but I did manage. It's weird.
I mean,
because
you have Christmas off, right? So
I think I'll check with my boss.
that's 3 days. That's 3 days right there.
But like the painting recently, I feel it's weird because people always ask me how I write so much, but it's funny how when I'm writing, I feel like I get more time in the day almost. Where like I think it's just that burst of speed where like I break up my 3,000 words a day into 1,000 words in the morning, 1,000 words in the afternoon, 1,000 words at night. So I feel like I'm trying to fill the time as much as possible between those spurts. So like it's probably just a mental thing. But I've been painting so much. I got the provisionally prepared Rattling model painted. It's not great. Check out my beautiful Instagram post about it. You can see how bad my painting is. But that's my first Rattling model. I love the scale. It's perfect. It's an awesome little model. I wish I was a better painter. And then I also painted an Oghren from the Darktide game to be one of my guys for the army when it actually ships. So I got a lot of painting done. And it's weird
I
because-
think that you should buy a pack of Bulgrins and run 2 Bulgrins and 1 Oghren in your kill team, because it seems like the Bulgrins are probably more effective at staying alive and doing the melee stuff that the Rattling's kind of lacking. So I think the Bulgrins would probably be good.
I don't mind. It's more just the model. Like I didn't love the models, but I'll probably get them. Just
One of the Bulgrins, you can give them a grenade launcher, and then they're going to give them a maul.
but in the review I was watching, they said it's useless. Like, don't get the grenade launcher. It's useless.
I would say it's useless, but I mean, they don't have any like explosives really, like, you know, normally. So I think it'd be a good supplement.
I was asking for. I was googling stuff like current tabletop stuff because like most of the stuff is waiting. Like we're waiting for Iridia. I want to talk about that, but
I watched that playthrough that Mike from One Stop Co-op Shop, or did they change the name of the channel?
There's
look.
two different names because they have a name for their channel, which is the. Now I can think about it, but because they have a different name for their podcast and their YouTube channel.
Well, that video you sent me was One Stop Co-op Shop, right?
I think so.
Well, anyway, I watched his playthrough of one of the quests, and I was like, man, makes me want that game even more. I'm really itching for that, like, you know, RPG style board game hybrid. You know, what's the word I'm looking for?
I mean, it is. It's an RPG board game hybrid. It's pretty much.
I know, but
campaign-driven.
something that scratches an itch. That's why I just can't think of the word I'm thinking of.
Oh, fill in a void.
Something like whatever.
Because there's
scratching that itch that I need.
Yeah. But like I was saying, I was trying to Google to see like things that are relevant. Like, because I don't want to be a news podcast, but I like talk about the news or like upcoming things. But it's like everything I'm just waiting for. I'm waiting for Brutal and Cunning, waiting for Iridia, waiting for. There was another game shipping too.
How's the?
Elder Scrolls: The Betrayal of Second Age. That Chip Theory games. I want that. It's really bad.
How's the? When are you supposed to get that? Cthulhu Death May Die, season 2.
Last year.
I know. Is there an update at ETA?
I think the most up to date one, because like everywhere except for North America has been delivered. So like we're waiting on for ours. So I think it's like the ship comes in on Christmas Eve, I think they said. So they're
maybe
expecting,
January?
yeah, they're expecting January 11th or whatever. So that'll be nice too. Like that'll be, I'll have a lot of stuff coming in around January because I think the season 3 of Final Girl's coming in as well. So
I didn't look at the game found for the new Death May Die. Is it like doing well?
It's probably because it's coming after Lands of Evershade, but I'm not watching it at all. Like I see the updates and I come in and
But it's almost about 2.5 million.
yeah, it's got some cool unlocks and like I'm excited and all. I want to play it, but it's not one of those games I really watch all the updates because like they just add a few. Here's some more monster models. Here's a new investigator. Which I just want more episodes, more.
Yeah, I gotta say the Godzilla thing isn't too enticing to me. Like
neither was
they
the
have
the Relia one. Or
yeah, they're really sticking to this whole like giant miniature format, and
you gotta wonder what the margin is there. Like because apparently it's popular enough where they keep doing it, but it's just that's got to be an expensive thing to print, and it's huge to ship, and it's just
I got that one for Marvel United for the Galactus thing. I haven't even played that yet. I think we should try that sometime. Like I keep putting it off. Because I like to have my stuff painted, but I really enjoyed the Sentinel mission for the X-Men, so I kind of want to try that Galactus one out. I gotta say though,
let's stop recording. Let's go play.
Well, as simple as that game is, I still get a little like annoyed when I have to learn special rules for this new scenario, even though they're simple. It's like I just am not like motivated to bust it out to play some custom scenario. But
I wonder if that's a phase because I used to love reading rule books. I loved it, and I still enjoyed it, I think. But like I've had that Tidal Blades game up there of yours, and I've been flipping through it, and I'm like I just can't get myself to actually read it.
It's funny because it's got the square rule book, and that's exactly what it is. Marvel United. I just don't want to bust out a square rule book. I hate it.
Yeah.
If you are a game publisher and you're gonna do a rule book and you want to make it square, rethink everything because those are the worst. I hate them so much.
It's like not a savings thing, right? 'Cause it's more paper,
I don't know. Like the only thing it fits in the box and doesn't bump around or whatever. So I don't know. Maybe they could have fewer pages because they can put more words on it. But whatever it is, I hate it. Like
honestly,
I never want to read a rule book that's square format.
That's why I pushed for the Hour of Need box size because I just wanted it to never have any possibility of being bigger than that box size.
There's nothing more disappointing for me when I'm opening up a new game and I see a square rule book. I'm like, I don't even want to read that.
there was one game recently where it was like the same size as like a standard box, but the rule book was like just shorter, so it was still a square. It was like, and I forget what game that was, but it's like, why would you go out of your way to do that? It's so crazy.
Don't like it. Not a fan.
But we got off on that tangent about Death May Die, but you also mentioned the big what was the Galactus, right? What was the DC one? Did they have one? Oh, it's Starro, right? It was Starro.
Was it? I don't think. I don't know.
Starro.
I mean, it wasn't one that was released. It wasn't revealed at the very beginning, was it?
No, I think.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
I'm saying these ones where they have like this new Kickstarter. I mean, it's probably because it's a new game, but I'm assuming the next one will have something big.
Yeah,
I can't think of big DC stuff right off the top of my head, but.
Yeah, and I'm like I said, like I was Googling to figure out things to talk about with tabletop games, and besides the game, and I think like I talked about it last episode, but we have this concept for this game we're going to design. And that'll be more like tabletop oriented stuff to talk about because I have a lot of cool ideas for it, but I don't want to get started in the actual like mocking up until I'm done with the Relic Myers draft. So hopefully in January, it's when I'm going to be pushing really hard to have the Mouse Light board game designed, and then maybe shop it around. But
and I will admit, ever since we started this podcast, I have been in a weird headspace or whatever. Obviously because of unemployment and everything. I haven't had any creative energy whatsoever. And now starting this new job is great, but I'm also like exhausted from just learning all the new stuff at work and stuff like that. Like mentally drained at the end of the day, and I just kind of want to zone out and play Xbox. Hopefully, once I get in the groove of this job, I'll get that creative spark back and like want to start working on side projects and do more things in my free time besides just veg out.
I think you subconsciously did a kiss with the we used to.
It wasn't subconscious, on purpose.
We used to.
That was an Easter egg, and you gave it away.
Yeah, we used to do that with our buddies, our roommates, not Justin Mitchell, but Justin and Mitchell would always. What are you up to? What are you up to?
Trying to do every W as a kiss sound or whatever.
It's awkward. It's really awkward to do.
What the hell was that?
Really, really cool guys. We were really cool dudes. But yeah, like that's. I mean, the Relic Myers board game also is kind of on hiatus because Richard's been busy with family stuff, and we just need to collaborate
Well,
a
it's
little more.
holiday
on-
season,
yeah,
and
so-
everybody's busy with.
and like well, it's weird because it's dry. It's like it feels like a dry season because I want to play something. I've been craving it, but like I said, I can't get myself to learn that dumb Title Blades game.
It'd be nice if we got that Freedom 5. I'd like that we could whip that out, but we don't have a copy of that. So
Yeah. Somebody posted that in the indie gaming group on Facebook, and she was saying how great it was, and they played like back to back, and I posted on there like, oh, you got the copy before me? I designed that. And you're in Indianapolis too.
and you helped develop it.
So I think what we've been doing a lot more of than sitting at the table is playing video games in this kind of weather because it's cold and can't do much else. Just sitting inside, whether I'm writing, painting, or playing a video game. Lately, we've been playing a lot of Marvel Rivals. Maybe
I've been playing a lot of
I've
it.
been playing some.
Yeah, Marvel Rivals came out like the same day as like Path of Exile 2, and there's just a bunch of stuff that kind of came out around the same time. Those are the two ones I was playing, but I was playing Path of Exile 2 when it launched. I haven't played much this week. I think I played a couple times this week, but as much as I like it, it's like I like it. It's good, but it's in early access, so I'm not in a rush to play through it, And plus, they don't have all the classes out. I'm sure they're going to have like some kind of a Templar type class like I did in the first game, and that's way more my style. So I'll be more excited about it when that comes out. I also I just bought the Hammerwatch Anniversary Edition that was on sale for like $8 on Xbox, and anybody who hasn't played that, grab it. It's totally worth $8. It's awesome.
So that's just the original game remastered.
Yeah, Hammerwatch was an old game. It was like, I don't know how long ago, 2016 or something. I don't know when it came out, but it's kind of like a Gauntlet style, little, isometric. How would you describe it? Like a little hack and slash dungeon crawl.
I think they call. I think it's more like a shooter sort of. Like
Well, it's a twin stick
shoot 'em up,
Yeah, but it's like it's twin stick as in like you can strafe around. You look one direction with one
Yeah,
stick.
it's a twin stick shooter. Yeah, that's what they call it usually.
But yeah, it's cool because it's a kind of like classic fantasy Gauntlet style, up to 4-player co-op where you play as like a wizard, a paladin, archer, or thief,
Ranger. I think
Yeah, there's a ranger, there's a thief, there's a priest, and a warlock. And it's kind of cool. You just go through Castle Hammerwatch, different floors, get to the roof, and fight a dragon. It's really fun. But there was also spin-offs, like there was Heroes of Hammerwatch, which is like the same kind of game, but it was a roguelite, which was awesome. And again, that's also on Xbox, and I would highly recommend that one as well. But then Hammerwatch 2 came out, and when Hammerwatch 2 came out, they did a Hammerwatch Anniversary Edition included in a bundle, and they took Hammerwatch and they upped the graphics to match Hammerwatch 2, which is good because Hammerwatch 2 looks way better. So the Anniversary Edition has better graphics, and also they added some new features like some different upgrades and stuff in the game. But again, it's on sale for $8 right now. I would grab it if you have an Xbox. Been playing that, and also, Heroes of Hammerwatch 2 is coming out. There's a demo of that on Steam. We played that with Scotty.
Did we? Oh, that was the demo.
Yeah.
Okay, because we played that with Justin Mitchell also, didn't we?
No, not Heroes of. We played Hammerwatch 2.
Hammerwatch 2, yeah.
Heroes of Hammerwatch 2 is the roguelite.
Yeah, that's confusing.
Yeah, it is. I think Heroes of Hammerwatch has more replay value because it's a roguelite. But anyway, kind of got off a tangent because I was just playing that last night, and it was consuming most of my afternoon. But to go back to Marvel Rivals, that game came out, and I played that in beta. I think we talked about this in the last episode.
Yeah, we just mentioned the game, like the gameplay being pretty slick, but I don't think we actually talked about. I don't know. Did we play it multiplayer?
Like, yeah, because you said you couldn't.
Right.
Heroes. You played like one game of it.
I think I figured it out finally.
But yeah, I've been playing that more and more. The more I play it, the more I like it. Like, it is really fun. If you like PvP games at all, like Overwatch, these arena shooters, I like this way better than Overwatch. It's third person, the gameplay is slick, the art style is cool. The heroes are all different, but they're easy to figure out. Even the ones that are kind of complex to play, they're easy to learn. So you can start in matches are like 5 minutes or whatever, 5-10 minutes. So it's a really fun game, frantic, skill based shooter. It's also free. It's free to play, so
they need more.
check it out.
They need more heroes still, because it's the type of game where
You
I
say
feel
that,
like-
but there's 33.
I know it's a nice selection. It's one of those things where when you're pulling from that kind of IP, when you have that many characters, it's like you want to see ones that are represented, and they also need to pull the right ones because I don't know I forget the guy's name, the version they use for Iron Fist, but it's not Danny Rand, and I want the Danny Rand version. But I am starting to really enjoy Hulk. I've been playing the Hulk, and I got the hang of him finally.
That's the weird thing. When I was looking at the hero selection screen, there's a picture of Hulk, but in the name it says Bruce Banner when you pick him, and I'm like, what the heck? So I went to Hawkeye, and his name says Hawkeye on the portrait, but you click on it, and it says Hawkeye, Clint Barton. But why does the selection screen say Bruce Banner instead of the Hulk?
I guess it's because you're playing as Bruce Banner. Like
I
when
guess,
you start the
but
game,
but
you're-
the image of the Hulk, like
Yeah.
it's just weird.
Well, it's more recognizable because I can see why they did that, but I feel like they have to call him Bruce Banner because that's who you start playing as. You don't like when you start the game, you're Bruce Banner, you're not the Hulk. So it makes sense, but they probably should have done like some kind of split. I don't know. It'd be hard to do.
It's strange just because they put Clint Barton's name there, but it wasn't in the description and not like on the portrait.
Yeah, I think overall I'm pretty positive on the game. Like initially I don't think I was, but I finally got the hang of. I was playing Raccoon or Rocket for a while, and he's just mostly a healer, so I wasn't used to that kind of play style. But he only had like 2 buttons to figure out because you just hold the buttons down, either shooting or healing, and you had a dash.
Even easier is like Loki because he's a
I'm
healer,
trying.
but like he just shoots, and if you shoot enemy, it damages them. But if you shoot a player, so you can literally just keep shooting into combat,
yeah.
and you'll do something useful.
I really liked. I'm getting the hang of Winter Soldier. I'm not great yet, but like I'm getting the hang of his combo because his whole mechanic is he has a powerful pistol that's like it can do a lot of damage. It's only got 3 shots before it has to reload. But if you do anything that uses your bionic arm, like you can take a shot, do a bionic arm ability, and then you get an automatic reload. So if you time it right, you don't have to have a reload. You can just like do 2 shots, do an attack, and then I just got to get the timing down where I know how many shots I've taken because it's real easy to just start blasting and like I'll run out of ammo. I got to reload.
I will say this too, like I know people recommend stuff all the time, but when I first played the game, I probably felt the same way you did, where like in beta, I was like, this game is really good, but I don't have really a reason to want to play it. Like it's fine. But the more that I do play it, and the more that I get like grooves going with certain matches, it gets more and more enjoyable. I like before we started recording, I was before I had lunch or whatever, I was playing a match with Hawkeye, and I got MVP. I got like 35 kills in a match. It was crazy how good I was doing because I'm not usually that good. But it felt good. It was fun. Makes me want to go play some more. And again, they're like 5-minute matches, so it's nice to just be able to get a quick game in if you have some time to kill.
I had a 5-player KO with Hulk.
Yeah,
Is that what they're called?
I think
was the best I did.
I think that was when I was playing one of the like Adam Warlock or something, one of the healers. Because when you're playing with healers in your group and you can get like some good coordination going, the team fights get way more fun. So.
It was a big day, a big week for video games though. Like I was itching to play something, and I don't play a lot of solo games, like single player games, which are really popular, like these single player narrative games, because I don't want to play through stories. I want to read a story, I want to read a book, but when I play a game, I just want to play the game. So I couldn't find a game that was really like fitting with what I was craving. Marvel's Rivals is good, but I wouldn't play it solo like you do. I'd have to play with other people on the chat and be engaged, but it was fun watching the Video Game Awards, which were Thursday last week, right? They were on a Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday.
Yeah, so they were like a 3 or 3.5 hours. What was it? 3 hours, 4 hours? So long.
Started at 7:30 and ended like at 11. Or yeah.
They had like I was hoping to see some Resident Evil news or. I wouldn't expect it, but I was crossing my fingers for something about State of Decay 3, some kind of new reveal. There wasn't a ton there, but the one that stood out to me was that Elden Ring Night Rain, because they'd been that From Software had been talking about like how they were doing an interview one time, one of the developers were, and they're talking about doing more co-op, like straight co-op, because their other games have kind of limited co-op, and they were saying something about how they'd want to explore doing like full co-op. I don't know if this is it or if they have another thing planned that's more like, similar to the other games. This is kind of like this roguelite. It's like kind of just a spin-off of Elden Ring where it's up to 3 players, and the whole concept is it's sort of like when you start off, if you're familiar with Elden Ring, you just kind of like get kicked into this world and try to figure out where to go and stuff. In this game, it's like you team up with 2 other players, and you have these pre-made characters you play as. It's not like a make your character type thing, and you go out and you choose target to hunt essentially, and then you like go through. I think it was like 3 nights, right? Because it
days.
sounded pretty similar to Raven's Watch, that model, which makes me wonder if one of those games like heard about the development of the other game and they're like, hey, we should do that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I'm sure the word gets around.
Or maybe that's been used before. I'm just not familiar with that model, that formula, but it seems to work pretty good. But that game looks pretty cool. It's, I don't know if it said it's 2025, I think it said. I don't know if it had a date.
It looks like it uses the Elden Ring, like a lot of the Elden Ring assets. So I was listening to that video you shared about, I think it was IGN, talking about their experience playing it. And they were talking about how like you don't have classes, you just pick these pre-made characters to make the game easier to get into. And I find that strange because I don't necessarily think that's easier to get into when you just pick a class, like because it's the same thing. Like a character is a class.
Yeah, they'll probably have a lot of like customization options though, like getting aesthetics and stuff unlocked through different runs. So I'm sure it'll be some sort of customization system. But yeah, it's kind of weird how you play as like named characters, I guess. I don't know what it is.
I mean, it seems like a normal Raven, like that Raven's Watch game is, and a lot of roguelites, they just have these. It's kind of like that MOBA approach.
Yeah, there was another game they announced at the awards that I haven't looked up more info on, but it's The Long Dark 2. It's Black Frost, which I think, I can't tell if it's multiplayer, but it is like a survival, like top-down survival horror game in the snow. But I don't remember if The Long Dark. I don't think that was multiplayer, so I could be way off. But it just looked like it was a cool co-op survival game. But I need to look more into that because that was like the only other game I think when they were doing reveals that looked pretty cool to me. Unless I'm forgetting any. I don't know. Was there any other ones
Honestly, I was not really excited about much that was revealed.
Yeah.
Like the It Takes Two, the new game from the company that made It Takes Two,
Split Fiction,
called Split Fiction. That's really cool. Like my wife and I played through It Takes Two. It was a game about like a man and a wife that were going through like marital trouble and maybe getting divorced or something, and you kind of play through this adventure to like find your bond again. And it was really cool because every like level you went to, there was like some new mechanic. Like you were in the garden and you like had each character had a different thing they could do to contribute to beating the level. You'd find out new ways to work together. Really great game design, really well done. People love that game. This new Split Fiction game is about these two authors, and they like, one's a fantasy author, the other is a sci-fi author, and they're going to this some kind of it's like kind of like Total Recall, where you go into this
facility where their stories become like interactive.
They live through it or whatever.
It's like I think they're selling virtual experiences based on those stories. So they're like, your story's getting published for somebody to experience.
Yeah, like you like go through and you got to actually get put into a simulation of your story. So they're both going in their stories, but then something happens where they get mixed up and they go together, and they both together get mixed up into both their stories. So they're going through these different fantasy and science fiction stories. They're basically playing through their stories mashed together.
It sounds like there was some kind of weird like sinister aspect where the guy was trying to steal their stories or something, and then they got pushed in, and he's like, nobody's taking this, or I don't know. There's some like nefarious plot,
but it looks really good. That one looks cool. I think it comes out pretty soon, actually, like in January.
It made me think that trailer made me remember when I was excited to try that Prison Escape game.
Same company. I didn't realize it, but it was the same company.
Well, that's what I was thinking, because like when I saw the trailers for A Way Out, I was like so excited. It's like, oh, we grew up playing co-op games, so that'd be cool. But when we played it, I was like, I had no interest in really learning the system, like because
it's an older game too. So
I mean, it played well, but it just like it felt like really slow paced, and I don't know. I mean, it's a bad comparison because it's not the same type of game. I just mean like these games that are built around rigid co-op experiences.
Yeah, but they're kind of very structured, like scripted co-op almost. Like you have to play through this puzzle, like these puzzles. And it's cool for casual game, but it's not. It's hard to like get really really into it. Aside from that, though, there was something interesting where my wife is a huge Borderlands fan, and so I've played a lot of these Borderlands. I've played Borderlands 2 before I even met her, but after we got together, we played through Borderlands 3 and Borderlands Wonderlands, that Tiny Tina game. They're fun and all, but after playing through half of the game, I kind of get bored of it because it's kind of the same thing over and over again. But they had a Borderlands 4 trailer at this thing, and it just seemed so I don't know, boring to me. Like
Everyone
it
agreed.
looked exactly the same.
Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of videos or watching a lot of videos and listening to podcasts about the Video Game Awards, and I feel like it's pretty unanimous where people just don't really care about Borderlands, and it's
Yeah.
like I don't know if the movie bombing is a representation of that, or if the movie was just that bad. But it's like, to me, that IP has never done anything for me. I tried to play the game with you one time because you were really into it, and I was like, it's fine. It does nothing for me really. I don't know what it is.
I liked it because of it was designed around drop in, drop out co-op, like 4-player. Like it was designed for that, so it was a cool. It was fun. It was fun to play that kind of game when I first got into it. I was not excited about after that. I thought the Tiny Tina's Wonderland thing was kind of interesting because it was like a spin-off of their D&D thing, and you had to actually you guys play as like a class, like a fantasy class, which I thought was pretty cool. But the game didn't really like suck me in that much. But the thing is about this new game is, like, even visually it just looks the same. Like, it just looks like an expansion to Borderlands 3. And the heroes just look like twists on the heroes they've already had before. So for me, it just did not excite me at all, which is disappointing because it was supposed to be a big reveal. I was also bummed that there was nothing for Diablo there. I was hoping there would be like a tease about the next Diablo expansion.
Yeah, do you find it weird? Because the indication to me when I got an email from Battle.net that said, like, tune in to the Video Game Awards for world reveals or something like that, but they weren't even, like, they had nothing there. They had like a Diablo 4 nomination for.
I had to step away for a bit. Was there even a commercial for the Immortal thing?
No,
because there was an Immortal event.
Well, I had to step away too, but I don't think there was, like, because I skimmed back through it, but I didn't see anything at all like Blizzard related. And correct me if I'm wrong in the comments or whatever on this podcast episode, but I don't think that they were even there. So it was kind of disappointing. It's also very strange because I think this time last year they announced the expansion, the Vessel of Hatred. They teased that, right?
Yeah, that was at. Well, I don't know if it was BlizzCon or.
I thought it was the Video Game Awards.
I don't know because it was like a focus on Diablo for quite a bit on stage. I'm pretty sure it was a Blizzard event.
They don't have those anymore, do they? They don't have it this year.
I think ever since the acquisition, I don't know. Maybe it was some other event, but I don't think it was the Game Awards. But it was around this time. I think it was November because the game had just come out, and then after the game came out and they had like season launch or whatever, then they're like, okay, well now we're gonna tell you what's coming up next year, which was the expansion, and that's what they announced, Vessel of Hatred, and the incredible disappointment of not having a Paladin class.
Yeah, dropping the ball everywhere. Dropping the ball by not putting World of Warcraft on Xbox. They're dropping the ball by introducing an overpowered hero class that nobody really asked for.
Spiritborn.
They got to fix things.
I wanted to like the Spiritborn. And there's some. It's a well designed class, but yeah, I just want the Paladin. Just give me the Paladin / Crusader. That's all I care about.
It's funny you mentioned Diablo because I was talking to Sarah last night because I was just kind of bored. I finished my words early. I finished my Oghren, and then I also finished my Medic for my Brood Brothers. So it's like I want to just like play a game, but nothing really sounded good, and I'm pretty much cleared out the season for Diablo, so I'm just waiting for the next season to start. So
Heroes of Hammerwatch.
I was wanting something like Diablo, like something seasonal, something to just unlock some stuff. I don't know. I like that persistent stuff, but I just can't find anything I'm that excited about when it comes to video games because, like I said, I don't really play a lot of solo stuff, and there's no. If I did, it'd be like Resident Evil. But
I just want some friggin' action RPG co-op games. Like, I want to see some console action RPG MMOs. That's what I want.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's pretty much any other video game stuff I've done. I don't think so.
I think that kind of all
that's our gaming stuff. So it's kind of a waiting game. It's kind of a wait. Next week it'll be exciting because I'll be talking about how much I'm gluing all my Rattlings together.
That'll be fun to listen to.
Actually, we might not do an episode next week because it's Christmas. So I don't know. We'll see.
That's our Christmas gift to you. Is you have to listen to us.
No more guilt downloads. We do have like a topic though, like not a listener question. Well, I guess it is a listener question. They're asking what our favorite. I forget who this question was from. I'll have to double check. I think it was Blackheart Paladin?
I can pull it up right now as you're reading the question.
Discussion topic for favorite obscure gaming accessories like dice towers or health trackers or spell trackers.
Blackheart Paladin.
Thanks for the topic. Mine might be kind of boring because I don't know if it's obscure or not, but I just love like storage. Like I love like storage compartments, making my own custom storage boxes, dividers for cards. Anything that's like organization or storage, that's what I play games for. Like, games are fun. I just like storing the bits though. I want to store the bits in cool ways. I love packing them away.
I think I can top you with mine being more boring than that, and that is just the simple concept of a side table. Like, you have your game table, but having a table off to the side.
I'm gonna disqualify that because it's like a table, right? That's not a gaming accessory.
It makes gaming incredibly stress free. You have like you lay out all the game stuff off the side. Because I just say this because my wife bought me this like standing desk because I was kind of like getting hunchback from painting on this hobby desk I have. I was like, maybe I should try a standing desk, and I tried it, and it made my back hurt more when I was standing up and painting for like this is probably worse. So I moved the standing desk into my game room and put it off to the side. Just like kind of waist height or whatever, and now it's I use it all the time to just put all this the game I'm playing, just all the stuff laid out, so easy access for the game. The game table is completely open, so I won't say that that's my answer to this, but that's the first thing I thought of when I was like gaming accessory, because
it is a gaming accessory. It just, for some reason, my gut reaction says it's not. I don't know what it is. I don't know why, because like I guess I wouldn't think of like a gaming table because it's kind of like a mini table, but it's like. I guess it could be an accessory. I just think of things being accessories like fitting into boxes, like something that's like a component, a supplementary component or something.
Okay. Those this is kind of like what yours storage, but those Game Genic token boxes,
those are nice.
Those are awesome. I have those from Marvel United, and it's like nice because not only is it a nice place to store tokens, but they come out in little cups that you can pull out and put off to the side of the game. Those are probably my favorite game accessory that I have right now because I use them for Kill Team too.
Yeah. So I think anything by Game Genic honestly would fall into that category for me. And then because this is so close to Halloween, I keep thinking of Halloween. This is so close to Christmas. I haven't been very festive this year. The most festive I've gotten, and just as a preface, I used to be super into Christmas. Like I loved it for some reason. Like up until maybe a few years ago, I kind of like lost my ability to get excited about Christmas.
I hate it.
I know. Most people do. Most adults with kids end up hating it because it's a big thing. You got to buy a bunch of presents and stuff. It can be obnoxious. But like I used to just get so excited to watch like Christmas episodes of shows or like Christmas themed movies. So like I think I'm going to make an effort this coming week. Because I did watch Scrooge. Scrooge is my go-to, like, I must watch every year for a holiday movie. Even if I'm not feeling festive, I have to watch Scrooge at least once. I think it's like my only real one that I've seen probably every year without fail since I was a kid.
What?
Scrooged. The Bill Murray, 1986? Was it 86? 85? Maybe 88. I don't know when that came out. Let's double check.
Scrooged, yeah.
It was late 80s or was it early 80s? Seems like a late 80s thing.
I think it was.
You're looking it up. I think it was from my memory banks on Wikipedia.
88.
Yeah, I was right. I was close. The first guess was 88.
IMDb, not Wikipedia.
I use Wikipedia. What's your necessary?
I'll add to this, though. The reason why I personally get annoyed with Christmas is because not just Christmas. My daughter's birthday is the day after Christmas, and it's always like having to organize party schedules with other kids and stuff.
Don't even give me that. My son's birthday is the 1st of November. Sarah's is the 14th of December. Riley's is the 17th of January.
Yeah, but
they're all crammed in the end of the year.
You don't need to schedule stuff for your wife, so that doesn't count.
Still, I had to take her out to like 3 dinners this week, and I bought her an Apple Watch. And
I would be thrilled if all Amelia wanted was a freaking dinner and an expensive present. I just hate dealing with the scheduling of parties with other kids' parents and trying to figure out schedules. I
don't have to deal with that.
Yeah, birthday parties. Come on. I mean. Who are you helping?
Yeah. You know, just go out just get your daughter a cocktail at her favorite bar, and you're good to go. What's your favorite holiday movie, though? Favorite Christmas movie?
I was watching Die Hard this year.
It's not a Christmas movie,
but it puts me in the festive mood.
I always feel like a troll because people love having that argument. And I think it's the dumbest argument in the world. I don't care. It's like it's whatever it is to you, but it's like. You know, it's not intended to be a Christmas movie.
It's weird. Amelia wanted to watch Christmas movies, so we've been watching a bunch of them. And I was letting her watch some that we grew up with, like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. We watched Scrooged. We watched the newer 8-Bit Christmas. We watched A Christmas Story. Watched A Christmas Story Christmas, the sequel.
Oh yeah.
There were some others that we watched. Just Friends. I don't know. That's the Christmas.
That's got some Christmas stuff in there.
But
Wait, did you watch that with your daughter?
we watched the beginning of it, but she wasn't really paying attention, so we didn't watch it.
I wanted to watch it just for the intro where she's microwaving the salmon on the plane because Riley microwaved foil at home one time, and I was like, I got to show you a movie to teach you never to do that.
But I was trying to think of like what my favorite. Oh, Home Alone was another one we watched. Home
That was on the notes. I thought that was what you were gonna say.
I think when I was a kid, Scrooge was my favorite. But now that I watch it nowadays, it doesn't do much for me. Like it's fine.
It's perfect. It's a flawless movie.
I can't think. I watched Jingle All the Way too, and that one's.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare!
Have you watched it recently?
Yeah, I watch it almost every year too.
Phil Hartman was the best part about that movie.
Wrap some chains around those tires.
Keep it down back there.
Yeah, but likes everybody. He doesn't really quite like you.
I'm trying to think of what like I could say my favorite would be, but it's really tough. Yeah. Scrooge is always like my default because that was the one I always said when I was younger.
I think we watched it too much as kids because I never could escape it. Like that's the one I have a few movies I've bought on Apple iTunes, so like it's on my Apple Store page of my smart TV, and that's always there even if it's not Christmas time. So I end up watching it occasionally sometimes when I'm bored, but it's always my Christmas go-to.
We watched A Christmas Story a lot as kids too, and that one nowadays, if I watch it, it's just kind of depressing. Like it's just so like.
I mean, it's kind of nostalgic, but I don't find it depressing, really. Except for, some of the music's kind of dreary.
The dogs eat their freaking Christmas dinner. They have to go to a Chinese restaurant.
Isn't it a Korean barbecue or something?
Is it? They eat a duck and whatever, but I don't know.
It's supposed to be showing you can make Christmas wherever.
Also, I just find the 50s depressing.
Was that 50s?
I think it was the 50s because the sequel was in the 70s.
Which,
by the way, in the sequel, they make a big deal about being like hating Christmas carolers, but that wasn't referenced at all in the first movie. It was weird that they were just like this weird quirk that they focused on.
Didn't the bully with the red hair become a hunk?
He was a cop. He became a cop.
Was it a different actor?
It was the same actor.
Was it? Because he's kind of studly, right? He's like
he was the guy in Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah, he played Rickety Cricket's brother. Yeah. He's kind of studly. He glowed up, right? He glowed up good.
But yeah, I don't know if I have a favorite. It'll probably come to me because it just changes. As a kid, there was I liked the claymation Christmas specials, and
I think 2 or 3 years ago, I forget how long I've been in this house, but when I was building this house that Christmas, when I was waiting for this house to be built, which was 2020, 2020 Christmas, so that was 4 years ago. I was like, I think desperate for something to like make me feel more like festive because I was living in my in-laws' basement waiting for my house to get built. It was kind of a not very Christmassy. So I bought this book and I forget the name of it. I forget the author. I might still have it lying around somewhere, but it was like one of these like corny Hallmark Christmas story books, where it was like some romance story. But the story was about some girl, a big city woman quits her job and moves back home to the small town to open up like a little Christmas like novelty store or take over her parents.
You're talking about every Hallmark movie.
I know, yeah, and it's like the advent of like online sales. So like the store's not doing very well, so she has to like come up with some cool marketing scheme. And then like this guy comes in and he's like kind of obnoxious, but he's like dreamy and stuff. And they start dating, and then she finds out the story he's like a multi-millionaire. He works for the company that's making her like parents' business go out of business essentially, and it's never addressed in the book. The book just ends with them getting together and she's like all happy because he's rich and stuff, and I'm like, he's like I thought there was gonna be some lesson here because he's the one that's like making you out of business. It made no sense, but I was like,
maybe he saw the error of his ways.
I wish I could remember the name of that book, but I read it like in a few days because it was really small. But it made me think of like all of those Hallmark Christmas movies they make, and someday I'm always tempted to like just watch one out of curiosity. But like you look at the cover and you can guess what the movie is, basically.
We watched it as kids. We watched it all the time. It was called Baby Boom. We watched it several times.
If that's a Hallmark movie, that's like
that's just the same kind of concept where she goes to the country and she like starts baby food
wasn't
thing
the-
and dates the local veterinarian.
Yeah, it wasn't the veterinarian. Some like he was a musician, right? Like he was a famous musician.
Oh, I don't remember.
In real life. The actor. It was like some actor who I don't think he was in a lot of movies, but he was also a musician. So like that's why he was known. But I forget the name.
I will look.
But speaking of movies, speaking of it's before you look it up, I think it's like Guy. No, it's on the tip of my tongue now. It's on the tip of my tongue.
I don't know if he's a musician though.
What's the name?
Sam Shepard.
Yeah, Sam Shepard. Yeah, he's a musician, right?
He became a playwright.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking somebody else then. Yeah, he might have just been a writer. He just maybe he did more writing than he did acting. Like that was one of his few roles or something.
Yep. I don't know.
Anyway,
He died in 2017.
yes, yeah, that's that. So gonna move
R.I.P.
on
Sam
to
Shepard.
Sam Shepard. Segment 5. We're gonna do.
Wait, we were still talking about Christmas movies. I was
Oh,
going to
I
make a
thought
comment
I thought you were
saying that I like the concept of 8-Bit Christmas, that
Yeah.
new movie.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be really great, but we talked about it before. It's like the execution was just like
yeah.
lacking, and I just felt like I don't know. There was too much about it that bugged me, and his parents especially. They just seemed like really mean. Dude, the cat's chewing on this.
Then make him stop. Just get him off of it.
He's like riding on it. What the heck is he
Just get him
doing?
off of it.
He's like just walking on it.
I think you made it so I can't hear.
Check.
Okay. The
Dude,
next,
he's not even doing anything. He's just like he was just hanging on it with his
Okay,
hind
he's
legs.
an idiot. He's
I like
an idiot. He's a dumb cat. This is a fun segment because you don't read anything, but I've been reading audiobooks a lot. I'm still reading The Wastelands, which is book 3 of the Stephen King's Dark Tower. But I think I mentioned when I was painting a lot recently, I've been listening to the audiobook for It, Stephen King's It, which I've read several times. The audiobook was really good though, and I finished it after I finished my Ogren, and I just feel so compelled to start it again. I don't know what it is. I can't find another book that gets me in that mood. I don't know why. Like, I don't even think I'm that engrossed with the story of it. I just think it's the atmosphere and him writing about Derry and everything. It's just like very episodic in a way. But I want more recommendations for something to give me the same feelings as Stephen King's It. So send them my way.
Yeah, I remember watching an old Stephen King movie one time. I forget which one it was. Maybe it was like Pet Sematary or something. But then I just was in this mood to watch that style of horror movie, like his 90s horror movies. But there weren't enough of them.
Yeah.
I watched, what was that one where he was like, there's a politician that was getting assassinated
Dead
or something?
Zone?
Dead Zone. That one was...
I've never watched that. When I read the book, I listened to the audiobook, because I remember, I think Stephen King's son, Joe Hill, right, that's his pen name, he said his favorite Stephen King book is The Dead Zone. So I was like, oh, I'll check that out. So I listened to it, but I don't remember much about it. It's weird. It didn't stick with me like his other books did. I still think my favorite Stephen King book is, I mean, I love it, but I think 11/22 60 something, whatever it is, like the day JFK got killed, he wrote a time travel book about that book is so incredible, such a good book. I highly recommend that one. And the TV show with the Hulu series with James Franco is fantastic as well.
I did do a lot of reading this week, but it was all software documentation, so I don't want to talk about it.
Tell us all about it.
What
What was the main plot?
I don't want to talk about it.
So what we've been watching, this one's exciting because I just watched something new because I've been so kind of what do you call it, like guilted into watching things. I feel like I'm falling behind on shows, I'm not watching enough, and I feel like I should be excited about TV, but nothing's really been pulling me in. But I watched the first episode of Creature Commandos yesterday afternoon, and I only got halfway through it until I had to go to dinner. But then I ended up watching all the rest of the 3 episodes that are currently on Max. And it's fantastic. Such a cool show. It's, for anyone not familiar with Creature Commandos, it's the first entry into the new DCU, like DCEU, that James Gunn is running.
DCE Extended Universe?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I forget what they call it. But this first series, the first phase, whatever they're going to call it, of the I think they call it chapter for the DCU. But
They don't call it the DCCU?
Yeah, the first wave is this Gods and Monsters, and it's Creature Commandos, and then Superman and Supergirl, and I forget the other. The Green Lanterns.
Is
and
Supergirl its own movie?
Yeah, it's a movie. And then Clayface. I think Clayface is in that as well because that was recently announced. So, and by the way, apparently the voice actor Alan Tudyk, right? Yeah, Tudyk. He does Clayface in Creature Commandos. I haven't seen him yet, but I just saw him in the credits. Like he's gonna be appearing at some point in that show, so they're getting a little tease of it. But Creature Commandos is a form of like the Suicide Squad, but it's like this is after the events of the Suicide Squad movie. So like there's government pushback about using humans in this Suicide Squad mission structure. So they're Amanda Waller's finding a workaround where she can actually use like non-humans. So she's using these creatures. So she's got like the Bride of Frankenstein, who's just called the Bride. This like fish chick named Nina something. This hilarious James Gunn's brother Sean Gunn does the voice for G.I. Robot, who's like this robot that's obsessed with killing Nazis. He's like from World War II, and he's only made to kill Nazis. So like he always asks somebody, "Are you a Nazi?" And he pulls his little gun arms out, like he's always threatening people. He's really funny. But yeah, great show, really entertaining.
Who would say yes, even if they were a Nazi?
It's funny with this one. A lot of people are like slow to answer. You better answer quickly. But he goes like some Nazi rally, and he's like, "Are you a Nazi?"
What year does this take place?
It's after the Suicide Squad movie, so it's like right after, because like
so it's modern day.
Yeah. So, but he's been in prison for years because he's just.
But they were at a modern day Nazi rally.
No, that was a flashback.
Oh,
yeah, it was he's like the robot has flashbacks. It's a really well done show because like the way they introduce the characters is like each episode will have a character it focuses on, where like there's current stuff happening, but during a fight scene, the person might have a flashback to tell the story of their character. So, The Bride is really, I won't spoil it if anyone hasn't seen it, but The Bride is really well done. David Harbour does the voice for Frankenstein, so he's in that as well.
This is on Max.
Yep. First 3 episodes are up. I think it's a weekly thing now, so I think 3 days ago is when the most recent episode launched, so that's pretty cool. Really enjoying that one.
I'm getting more excited about that Superman movie, James Gunn Superman movie, because I watched the Superman documentary, the one about Christopher
Roomba running? Do you see a Roomba running?
I hear something in that room.
Are you sure?
I don't know.
The salt pump?
I don't know. But I watched the documentary for Christopher Reeve, the Superman story or whatever. It's pretty good. Very intense. But anyway, it made me want to go back and watch the old Superman movies, which happened to be suggested on Max after I finished it. It's like, yeah, I'll just put on Superman 1 just because I haven't watched it since I was a kid. It is pretty crazy how little of that movie that I actually remember. I remember watching it as a kid many times. And then I did watch Superman 2 this morning with my coffee. And again, I definitely watched that one.
Was that the comedy one? Or was that 3?
3 is with Richard Pryor.
Okay.
And that one I will try to watch. I got like so I had a 5.0 on IMDb. But 2 was the General Zod and his 2 little buddies that were broken out of the Phantom Zone prison, and they came to Earth and had a spectacular battle with Superman. But anyway, watching those classic movies made me want to see a new Superman movie. So it's cool that one's coming out next year,
which is this time next year, right? Like end of the year, or
I thought it was like middle of the year or something.
Could be. I'm looking forward to seeing how that Green Lantern the show shakes out.
It's supposed to Korean Lantern.
Korean Lantern.
Yeah. Besides that, though, I've been watching Fear the Walking Dead, and I'm enjoying it. But there are some weird choices.
What season are you on?
3, I think.
I'm finishing up season 1 because I was watching it when I was working, because I realized I never finished the show, but like I don't want to start where I left off, so I kind of just started over again. And I forgot season 1 is pretty dang good. Like in comparison to like season 1 of Walking Dead, I love the season 1 of Walking Dead except for the song choices, like the direction, because it was trying to be like a little pretentious in a lot of ways. But season 1 of Fear the Walking Dead is much more concise, I think, and it's got cool scenes.
It's kind of funny. I think we're past the statute of limitations for like spoilers or whatever for that show.
Yeah.
But it's kind of funny. The cat's sitting weird. It's funny how there's two instances in the first season that I thought was ridiculous, where the zombie was trying to open the door at the house when he met Morgan.
Walking Dead?
Yeah, Walking Dead.
That's what I'm talking
about. And then one where
he
grabbed the rock. But it's kind of funny because at the end of the show, in the last season, you realize there are these different kinds of zombies, evolution zombies, and some of them can climb and do weird things. and like, oh, maybe they were just hinting at that way back in the day.
Yeah, I think maybe there's
variance. It's called variance.
Yeah, there's two things that like probably influenced that. Someone might have been like, we should maybe like, make that make sense, because I think everyone hated that. But it also probably just allows for the spinoffs, because like I know the first episode of Daryl Dixon kind of touches on that. So
Daryl Dixon really jumps into the variance thing. They have like acid.
I've only watched I've only watched the first episode. So
I mean, it's not really a spoiler because like the first episode has it.
I know. I've only watched the first episode.
So you saw it,
just that episode. Yeah.
But you saw the acid blood.
I know. I thought you were going to start saying more details.
No. I'm just saying that was an example.
Yeah.
But yeah, watch that, and I think that's pretty much been most of my. Yeah, there's definitely something in one of these rooms that I'm hearing.
I know it sounds like
Maybe it's a
Roomba.
But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been watching. Just honestly, it's funny because I don't like Halloween at all.
You like Halloween?
No, I don't like the season, the holiday Halloween. But I love the season, and I love the movies that I watch around Halloween. And I was watching The Walking Dead because of Halloween, and that kind of trailed into the holidays. And so I feel like I like that more than Christmas movies, is just watching Halloween themed stuff. So
I've been still in the mood for horror stuff. It's probably because I'm writing a book about it. But whoa, that was loud. That'll peek out.
What I would really like is to be able to play Resident Evil Outbreak remake next Halloween.
Yeah, I'm glad that we're popular enough now where we can have some of like the control of the cultural zeitgeist, and now that Capcom's listening to us, they know that like us and our millions of legions of followers would like.
Is this your next book that you're writing?
Like actively buy. We'd have a big player base for Resident Evil Outbreak, so they should be working on that right now. Whatever they're doing, stop doing it. Don't worry about Resident Evil 9, unless Resident Evil 9
you
has
want a live action game that you can sell microtransaction. Give me some new costumes.
Can you imagine
for my
how easy it'd be to spend money for like a Chris Redfield skin and like a Steve from Resident Evil Code Veronica skin.
Even in in Resident Evil Outbreak, if you have those same characters like the doctor, the plumber, the security guard, just have a bunch of different skins for those characters.
Yeah,
there you go.
But if you take a step further, because they had that like Resident Evil Mercenaries mode, and like they had all these characters you could like unlock, like Wesker and stuff. But just imagine a game like Resident Evil Outbreak that's a little more free form, but they could just pull. It's like the whole reverse thing. They could just pull any of these characters from any of the games and just like sell them as skins and just
not PvP.
Yeah,
just Outbreak style
PvPvE or whatever they call it.
Yeah, that's the worst. I mean, you have to worry about like someone controlling like all of the bad guys or something.
Yeah.
It just
controls the fun. It controls the pace of the game. But yeah, I think that's all we got today. That's all of what I've been reading and watching.
Maybe next time we'll be able to discuss thoughts on the Brutal and Cunning package.
No, what we should do is we should play a game of Kill Team, because you have to wait for your cards still. But I finally have my Brood Brothers started painting. I want to play as a game of them now that I
can play as my Phobos Marines as long as you're okay with not complaining about how much
I'm not okay with not
damage they do.
Don't put words in my mouth. All right, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Happy holidays. If we don't talk to you, or if you don't hear from us,
don't hear from us.
Until then.
You're welcome.